coffee and Lisa. This is
Me
awesome.
Me too. Yeah, I'm so excited you're in my town. Makes me so happy. Like I feel like I get to eat French fries and dark chocolate today.
That's amazing.
It's like exciting. And I love this book. This title, When God Doesn't Fix It, like when you told me the title, I almost started crying. Because there's just been so many things in my life that I think I lived under that assumption, which I love the way you call it a myth, that when this gets fixed, then either I'll have faith or life will get better. I'm slowly learning that a lot of times God doesn't fix it. That doesn't mean he's any less faithful or any less good. But you wrote, the myth is things have to get better before I can get better. The truth is my situation may not get better, but I can get better. Is that kind of the theme of this book?
I grew up kind of believing, that abundant life that Jesus talks about in Scripture is when he fixes all of our problems and he answers all of our prayers exactly the way that we want him to, in the time frame that we want him to. But, you live any amount of life and you realize that's just not true. Oh, whoa, we're moving.
Just very, very slow, though.
Lisa!
Do you trust Jesus? Or do you trust Jesus?
I have a feeling we're about to meet him. I think the beginning of all this was when, Martin, my husband, got sick 9 years ago and had a brain tumor. And the Lord graciously spared his life and he has improved, but he hasn't gotten 100% better. And there's a chapter in here where I talk about just the difference in our why questions, like, why did this happen to me? Why hasn't God fixed it? All those kind of things.
Like the disciples asked, why was he born blind?
Why was he born blind? Whose fault is this? Who was bad that made this bad thing happen? And Jesus' response is just saying he was born that my glory might be displayed. And so if we could begin to change from the why questions, which are important in our processing of what's happened to us in our story. Exactly. That's important. But as soon as we can shift over to how might God use this hard situation to bring himself glory?
Remember me telling you about how you have to trust Jesus when you can't see around the corner?
I trust Jesus, I just don't trust you. You crazy woman. God using you adopting Missy, stirring in your life, and this came out of it.
That's right. That's right. And of course, in the context of you've got to be willing to risk everything for the sake of Jesus, that theme, and then getting to bring this little girl home from Haiti, and there was a point in the process that they said you're probably not going to get her after all. And I thought, okay, do I believe that big? I mean, what am I willing to risk to honor Jesus first and foremost? I want Missy to grow up and go, my mama was crazy. My mama believed this book. My mama prayed in public. My mama talked out loud to Jesus in our home. I want her to see faith as not just a Sunday thing or even this sugar sweet thing, but it's our breath. She's trapped. It's locked. I won't let her out.
If you could just pray for me.
Trying would be the operative word.
I'm taking a risk for my faith. It's interesting that our books, they're on two different subjects, but such similar content.
Same core, I think.
Because I believe that how the Lord keeps our faith vibrant is those trials that we walk through.
Absolutely.
Giving us new circumstances in which to trust him, giving us new scenarios in which to live out our faith. That God never says in his word that we're going to understand our lives this side of
heaven. Matter of fact, he says you won't understand it sometimes.
Exactly. But he always promises that every chapter of our story, every broken thing we've walked through, whether it's things we've done or things that have been done to us, they all find their purpose in his greater story of redemption.
Right.
Okay, could you call 911 for me? Or just call my husband and tell him that I love him.
And call eHarmony and tell him I want a husband.
How am I going to live this out in my current life? Like what?
You're already living it. You're already living it. I mean, I've watched you live this way before. I don't live this every day. You live this better than I do. You're already jumping off cliffs in the dark, not sure where you're going to land. That's why you're able to write this. This is the little sister of this. I live this. It's not an acrostic. There's no 1, 2, 3. It's to run toward Jesus and for him to be our joy more than anything else, for intimacy with Jesus to be our joy.